I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with, it's supposed to be Crystal and Gilbert, but Crystal is not here today. Crystal is in Washington, D.C., and she's working on some great programs for the Business Zone. She's out there with George Fraser, and she's with the Power Network, trying to gather some resources and information for small business. For those of you who are just tuning in, and you are not sure what this program is about, the Business Zone is a platform where small businesses come together with contract providers, supplier diversity contract providers, to create opportunities and success. On the Business Zone, what we do is we get these small businesses ready to become contract ready, business ready, and bank loan ready. And today we've got some great guests in the studios, and we're going to have a great show. So sitting in for Crystal today is my temporary co-host, Calvin Johnson. Calvin.
Hello.
How you doing, Calvin?
I'm great.
I see you've been traveling a lot in the traffic there today, trying to get in and...
Los Angeles. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Now, Calvin, for those of our listeners who are not really sure what you do and who you are, do you want to refresh their memory? Tell them a little bit about you.
Yes, I've been involved in media, marketing, advertising, Clear Channel. I've had a lot of different stops along the way, but I'm very excited and happy to be a part of the Business Zone. We're going to do some great things. You and Crystal have launched something that is really super, and it's going to get better. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Calvin. Now, the Business Zone, as a matter of fact, tomorrow is our birthday.
Happy birthday.
Tomorrow will be 1 year on the air. And thanks to our wonderful producer, Felicia, over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia. Felicia was the one who approached Crystal and said, hey, you need to do a show. And she's going, well, I'm not sure if I should do a show. I don't know how to do a show. Mm-hmm. But, with a little coaxing and everything, she was able to do it. So we launched the show July of last year, and we've been going strong since. What we do here is once we air the show, we videotape it and we upload it to YouTube so that listeners can get to access it. Mm-hmm. And we've had over 15,000 listeners tuning into the show from all over the world.
Okay.
We've got people as far as Africa, from Nigeria, calling us.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And they've been tapping into our resources. So this is great. And we've been helping so many businesses on this program. It's phenomenal. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background so my listeners will know also about me. I'm Gilbert Buchanan, and others have called me the small business paramedic because I provide resources to small businesses. I help them when they're down, and I'm like a doctor. I revive them and put them back into operation. So hence the title Small Business Paramedic. But I've been working with small businesses for over 20 years now. I've worked with LA Unified School District, LA Community College District, LA Metro, Valley Economic Development Center, the Mayor's Office, City of Los Angeles, you name it. And so far, we've assisted my company, Buchanan and Associates, we've assisted about 1,500 small businesses in securing $81 million in contracts and bonding, $7 million in bonding. And recently, we were awarded a contract to teach small businesses in Las Vegas for the Nevada Contractors Association how to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. And as a matter of fact, these are the same contractors who are going to be working on the Raiders Stadium that they're building in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So we're pretty excited about that. And Crystal, she brings the accounting and bookkeeping side to the table.
Yes.
And we currently have a contract with Mount Sac where she's teaching bookkeeping and payroll.
Right.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So Calvin, what's you been doing?
Well, this project has begun to take off as we begin to reach out to the community. We have nonprofit organizations, entrepreneurial organizations, the Millikan Institute. A lot of exciting things are happening. So if you're tuning in, we encourage you to reach out to your friends, family, business owners, because we're going to really take this to the moon. It's going to be very successful. It's going to be very beneficial. But to answer your question, I've been busy working on the business.
I hear that, and I like that. As a matter of fact, the program here, the Business Zone, is on every Friday from 3 to 5, and it's on morrismedialive.com. So for those of you who are not able to log in right now, you can go to our app. The app is Small Biz Pro, and you can access it live right now. And it's been a wonderful program. Now, if
you may want to kind of tell them what that can do for their business.
Well, as a matter of fact, one of the things that it does, and this app is a phenomenal app, and I teach a lot of workshops for small businesses, for a lot of different agencies like the National Latina Business Women Association. I'm the procurement chair for the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm all over the state teaching small businesses how to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. So the program that we've developed, Small Biz Pro, to substantiate that project, Small Biz Pro allows you to upload your capability statement. So once you're out and about negotiating contract opportunities, you're a matchmaking event with contract providers. If you don't have your capability statement handy, you can just log into our app. And if we uploaded the capability statement for you prior to that, you can access it right there and then, email it to whomever who needs it, and it's right there.
Convenience.
Oh, yeah, very convenient. Good. So not only that, but the system allows small businesses to access their documents, their key business documents, in 10 seconds or less from anywhere in the world. So
you have a hit.
Thank you.
That's a hit product. We just have to get it out.
It's a phenomenal tool.
Fantastic.
And as a matter of fact, a lot of contract providers are calling on me because they want to use it now to help to groom and prepare their small businesses. So it's been wonderful. Mm-hmm. So today, what we want to do here, we want to go ahead and talk about some of the things that's been going on in terms of economic resources for small businesses. We are partnering with a few agencies such as the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Agency. We have a partnership with Southern California Edison, and there is a program that we launched called the EDGE program for small businesses, where, yes, we teach them a variety of different disciplines so that they, in turn, once they've gone through that process, they can obtain contract opportunities with Edison.
Excellent. Can we share information about that today,
sure.
how to access that?
Oh, sure. Excellent. Oh, sure. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do, we're going to upload the link, but it's Ariba. There's a system called the Ariba, ariba.com. Okay. So once you go there, you can upload your information. It's going to ask you, just like we do in our workshop, we create a company profile. They do the same thing. So they ask you for your name of the business, address, how long you've been in business, legal structure, insurance information, and all of that. Put you in that system. When opportunities come up that matches your NAICS codes, then they will send you a link that you can download. And then you take it from there. You start talking to their contract officers.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Can we spell that and give that out again? So
Ariba, that's ARIBA.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
And once you go through that, you should be able to upload all your information, and then a contract officer will notify you, and then they'll take it from there.
Now, are these city or state contracts?
These contracts are primarily commercial contracts, so it will be with Edison, it could be with the gas company, it could be with other commercial entities, PG&E, So those are some of the types of opportunities that are out there within the utility space, within the construction space, within the transportation space, a variety of different opportunities for small businesses. But one of the things that we realize is that small businesses need to be ready. They need to be ready. So certification is a big requirement. So in order to really help you to leverage those opportunities, not only are you going to upload your information, but the system, the Ariba system, will encourage you to become certified.
Okay.
And you have to be certified with the supplier clearinghouse.
Now, are there any limitations as to the types of companies and businesses that can participate, or?
No, actually, all it has to do with is if there are opportunities that you can participate in.
Okay.
So if you're in transportation, you're in utilities, construction, professional services, janitorial services, whatever it is, the need is at that particular time. Because as we know, businesses such as Edison or the gas company, they have opportunities in any one of those categories.
Okay.
Yes, and they're always looking for small businesses because the small business, they tend to be a lot more nimble than the larger firms. So large contract providers prefer to deal with those small businesses.
Oh,
yes. Oh, yes. But they want to make sure that they're ready.
Right.
And you notice I keep saying ready, because that's really what they're looking for. They want, if they ask you for a document, you can produce that on the spot. If they need insurance or whatever they need for you to do, if they need to know what contracts you've worked on over the last 3 years, you should be able to produce that information.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So that's an amazing...
we should get some of those success stories on the show.
Oh, yes.
Have some of those companies come
Well,
on.
as a matter of fact, two of our guests that's coming up shortly, they have been through my program, and they've been pretty successful to an extent, but we're trying to take them to another level so we can get them a lot more of those opportunities. So they'll be able to talk to that effect as well.
Okay.
So
fantastic.
It's been a phenomenal system that's been going on. So anything else going on, Calvin?
Well, we have some exciting things coming up. I think this may not be the time to let the cat out the bag, but we have some exciting things coming up for the show.
We haven't signed a contract yet, so we don't want to talk about that yet.
Right. So but we have some surprises coming up in the next few weeks, and it's going to be very exciting. It's going to allow us to expand to a larger audience and reach more people.
Reach more small businesses on a much better platform, and we're going to be that force within the community that small businesses will come to if they need opportunities, if they need to be connected with resources, that type of thing.
Absolutely. Felicia Morris, you've done a fantastic job with this layout and this network that you have, and we're going to continue to work with this and grow this. But we have some exciting things, and I want to say something, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. All righty. So for those of you out there who are listening who would like to give a call in to speak with one of our guests or speak to an issue on the program, our phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. Again, you're on the Business Zone. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do right now, I'm just itching to speak with our first guest. So we're going to go ahead and take a short break real quickly and bring in our guests. So why don't we do that? You're on the Business Zone with Calvin and Gilbert Buchanan.
Today.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Welcome back to the Business Zone. You are on the Business Zone with Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic, along with my co-host,
Calvin
Johnson. And I'm really excited about introducing our first guest on the show today. This man has been phenomenal. He's a social entrepreneur, and he's been doing some great work within the healthcare industry and the healthcare space, helping small businesses and disadvantaged individuals obtain opportunities or leverage opportunities. And what I'm going to do, instead of reading his bio and telling you all this wonderful stuff about him, I'm just going to go ahead and let him tell you all this wonderful stuff. Our guest today, his name is Dr. Bill Releford. And this man has been phenomenal. He's a trailblazer within the community, within the African American community, within the business community. He's been on numerous shows, and he's been on ABC, you name it. So, Dr. Releford, welcome to the show.
Welcome. It is truly a pleasure to be a part of such a phenomenal platform. I'd like to thank Calvin and, of course, you.
Thank you.
For expediting something that I believe is very, very necessary in addressing the economic disparity that we see in our community.
Thank you.
As a healthcare provider, professionally, I specialize in diabetic limb preservation, meaning that people come to me that have been recommended for amputation. So I've been practicing for nearly 30 years,
wow.
And I decided to take my practice outside of the walls of my facility and take my message to the streets. And with that, I began to do work abroad in West Africa and South America and Latin America as well. And I found that there was a common thread with healthcare disparities. And I think that as a healthcare provider, I was forced to look into what's really causing healthcare disparities. And we tell people to eat right and exercise, but if they don't have the financial resources to do that, then we really are giving them half of the story.
That's true.
And so, I mean, you can't expect someone to control their diabetes if they're 2 steps in front of the sheriff. You can't expect someone to do Pilates and meditate and stretch and Tai Chi if they're afraid they're going to get the water cut off tomorrow.
Exactly.
So I was forced to really drill down into what's causing the health disparities in our community. And so I launched a number of initiatives along my journey, one of which a Sub-Saharan Africa Manufacturing Alliance. I had gone to West Africa to do my typical health program.
Right.
And I of course, when you go to West Africa, some of these emerging economies, they introduce you to everything. So I went to a manufacturing facility, and I saw people just sitting behind sewing machines. And I said, why aren't they sewing?
Wow.
And they said, well, we need an order. And I said, well, he says, we've trained everybody. We've purchased the best sewing machines from Germany, and they're just sitting there, and those machines weren't making any noises. So me, being the kind of person I am, I said, you know what? I'm going to get you an order. So I go back to the United States, and I talked to a friend of mine who was a buyer for Walmart. And I said, I can make that T-shirt cheaper and better in Africa than the Pacific Rim. He says, you must be smoking something. So he gave me the T-shirt. He says, make me a sample. So I send the sample to Ghana, and the sample was spectacular.
Right.
It was so good, he didn't believe it was made in Africa. So he challenged me, and then he said, you know what, this is so good, my team doesn't believe it's made in Africa. So I go back to Ghana and Uganda, and I videotaped the sample being made.
In process. Wow.
So at that particular time, there was a trade embargo with China, where with quota limits. So as products come to the United States, every product has a limit. The United States, okay, that's enough T-shirts.
Right.
We don't want you to flood our market. So so China had reached its limits on a certain item that this buyer wanted.
Wow.
So in Africa, of course, we were all familiar with NAFTA and CAFTA. There's a program called AGOA that's similar to that, called the African Growth and Opportunity Act.
Oh, wow.
With that initiative, you can bring things in duty-free and without quota limits in about 35 sub-Saharan African countries. So, for example, I'll use a real example of a hoodie. A hoodie coming from China has a 30% tariff. That means then if I buy that T-shirt from China, it's going to cost me $13 in San Pedro to pick it up.
Right.
In Ghana or in Africa, they may not be as efficient as the Chinese, and they can make that T-shirt or that hoodie for $12.95, right?
Yeah.
Without any duty or tariff.
Right.
Then I can compete with the Pacific Rim manufacturers.
Because now it's not costing you an extra $13.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what, when people talk about NAFTA and CAFTA and no trade, that's what that means to an entrepreneur real time.
This is good information right here.
Wonderful.
Because one of the things that we're trying to get our small businesses to do, instead of start looking locally, just within our local community, we want to start looking abroad.
Right.
Because that's a much bigger market right
It's
there.
a much
probably
bigger,
a more lucrative market.
And I believe that the African American community is maybe a little anesthetized and a little bit, the brainwashed just a little bit from the media in Africa.
Yeah.
When you go to Africa, some of the manufacturing plants are spectacular.
Right.
They're computerized, they're air conditioned, and there's no one in the mud, and there's nobody with flies on them. And you go there. So with this story, I send the videotape and make another sample. He says, you know what? Because of the trade embargo in China, we're going to close our eyes and give you this order of 200,000 camouflage T-shirts.
Wow.
We're not going to even consider it a part of our inventory. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't come, it'll be fine too. So, but we're not going there. So we're going to train you how to do the quality assurance.
Wow.
So I had to send, I think, one out of every 200 T-shirt. I had to overnight to them, and I took pictures of certain sensitive areas of the T-shirt to make sure that it was done properly. So, make a long story short, I spent my Christmas holiday in Ghana, in Accra, using this trade initiative for an order for 250,000 T-shirts for Walmart. And that culminated into other orders as well. So why am I saying that?
Yeah.
One order of T-shirts is 40,000 T-shirts can fit in a container.
Right.
One container feeds 500 Ghanaians for 30 days.
Wow.
So we were able to show the ripple effect and the local impact of one order of T-shirts that someone may be getting from another ethnic group.
Yes.
Now I'm going to say this, and some of the things I say may be a little bit on the avant-garde side.
That's okay.
The black community has allowed the largest trade deficit to exist in history. Meaning we buy from everybody else, nobody buy from us. Okay? Countries almost go to war because of trade imbalances.
Embargoes and
Trade imbalance. When China buys an airplane from us, somebody at Boeing is working.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When we buy a tractor or something from China, somebody is working over there. Why are we allowing other ethnic groups to come into our community and they do not play fair?
Wow.
That is costing us lives. It's costing us money.
Yeah.
People have allowed other groups to come in freely and without any type of reciprocity or reciprocation, about how we do business.
Right.
So what do we see is, so as a healthcare provider, so here I am as a physician talking about this because economics is how you keep people healthy.
Right.
And because of this warped economics model, both abroad in Africa and here, you see the diaspora suffering.
Right.
Africa has its challenges, meaning that Africa has been positioned to be only the source for raw materials, not the refinement of those raw materials.
Oh, I see.
Take a diamond.
Yeah.
They'll take those diamonds and polish them in Lebanon and other places. Why don't you polish that diamond in Liberia?
I hear you.
Polish that diamond right in Africa and buy that diamond in Africa on the ring.
Yes.
Same thing with oil. Why is Nigeria still buying gasoline from Brazil? They're not refining their raw materials, and that's done by design.
So how would you recommend that this disparity be corrected?
Okay, by shows like this, talking about how do you. I had a group from USC give me a business model because I'm so disturbed about it.
Yes.
About how communities create wealth.
Yes.
Not individuals, but communities.
Yes.
If you don't control the products you consume,
Right.
you see what we see right now.
Yeah.
Meaning that all the hair products, why are foreigners buying the market? That's our market.
Right.
In economic development, you've got to control your own markets.
Right.
We don't have access to our own market, and they won't let us have access to their market.
Right.
So we put it in this corner.
Right.
So my clarion call to our community is to begin to control the products we consume.
Right.
I happen to be from Oklahoma. My grandmother told me about Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm from a little town called Wagner, Oklahoma. But
That's not near Fort Sill by chance, is it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
I was in Fort Sill.
Okay,
in
sounds
Oklahoma.
familiar.
Excuse me, Bill.
So if you're not familiar with Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street was a community that was completely self-sufficient. They had their own banks. They even had their own airplanes. Some of these African Americans were flying to Europe to shop. Just Google it. You'll see, and you will see the wealth and the luxury that we had when we had our own police station, we had our own libraries, had our own seamsters, had our own bakers. We had everything. And because of the racial war that happened there, you may want to do just a tiny bit. So the point I'm making is that the desire for entrepreneurship has always been there in our community. There have been some impediments on the inside, internal as well as external.
Right.
So as a healthcare provider, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to make sure that we are able to change the way we do business with the rest of the world. The rest of the world has been getting off on the cheap.
Right.
On the cheap, meaning that our athletes, our entertainers, even the apparel that the entertainers develop should be made in Africa. They can make it.
Yeah.
And as quiet as it's kept, a lot of the big manufacturers are already there. Nike is there. Wrangler is there. I've seen them there.
Right.
So the point I'm making is that we need to wake up and just be informed about the tools that you have locally. Right. But just imagine to take those global. Now it's a global economy now.
Right.
It's not just Inglewood and L.A. You may have to source raw materials from other parts of the world.
Right.
You may have to source some labor from other parts of the world to put a stitch on something, to put a button on something, to whatever. So I've seen, I've done this. I know a lot of people have talked about doing this type of thing.
Yeah.
But when I had the USC team to do a model of how communities create wealth, it's a model simply. You have to control your product
Mm-hmm.
from the most primary level all the way to market.
All right.
Not just getting a T-shirt and slapping a logo on
Right.
it. That's not economic development.
Got to go from
you got to go to the you got to go to the cotton ball,
distribution, the
cotton
marketing.
ball,
Mhm.
the cotton ball
Yeah.
to the yarn, the thread to the T-shirt, the T-shirt abroad like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And each step of the way, jobs are created around each one of those steps.
Right.
Somebody's got to go and get the cotton. Somebody's got to take the cotton and turn it into thread. Someone takes that thread, turns into a big roll of fabric, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's how other groups really create that
Right.
wealth and are self-sufficient.
So in their operation process, they have the system, how it works from point A to point Z.
Absolutely.
And everybody understands that.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that we're launching right now with Edison, and they're a big proponent for this, is collaboration.
Yes.
They want to see small businesses collaborating more because the larger businesses are. If you look at any of those projects you see on the street, right, construction projects,
Yes.
those large primes are collaborating.
Absolutely.
And by them collaborating, they're keeping out the smaller firms like us out of the way.
Exactly.
So how and what you just said is phenomenal. And while you're talking, I'm thinking, how do you see us or you with the concept and the philosophy you have collaborating the black community with the brown community so they can, because they're stronger. They're 49% Hispanics in the state of California and 12% African American. You
Right.
put that together, what do we have?
Yeah, we have the force.
We have 60. You see what I'm saying? 60%.
Right.
So that's a majority right there.
Right.
So if we put that together, now we got 60% here on our side, and if we collaborate with different trades like you talked about, then we can now export to all these different areas, cut out some of these companies that we're depending on.
Absolutely.
You see what I mean?
Well, what I would propose is maybe a moment to do some think tank. Okay, to say what are products that we all use at a universal. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just going to say a sock, or a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Regardless of your ethnicity, everyone's going to have some underwear, T-shirts, and socks. Right? Hopefully.
Right.
No, but and say let's find some common products. And where can we source them? Where can we manufacture them? Maybe we can have some of them done from Mexico. Maybe some of it could be done from West Africa.
Yeah.
And what about some common distribution channels? And what about some common manufacturing and wholesale channels? So that would be off the top of my head a collaborative thing and say, hey, let's all get together and let's talk about some common things that we all need, regardless of what's happening. And let that be the thing that we both subordinate to as a common cause.
Because that's what I'm thinking about right now. Because as you know, no one minority group is really going to take the mantle and, say, hey, let's do this. And it's going to happen. But if there's strength in numbers and people are coming together, then now the dominant culture is going to see that as a force to be reckoned with.
That is the only language this culture understands is money, revenue.
Yeah.
I do want to pause for a second. I have my two daughters in the studio with me.
Yes.
And they are in entrepreneurship training.
That was going to be one of my questions to you, but since you bring it up, let's talk about it.
My oldest daughter, this past Christmas, she said, "Daddy, I want my own website because I want to have my natural cosmetic line." I said, "Okay," so we made an e-commerce site. And then April, we have it connected where every time she gets a sale, we get an alert.
Yeah.
And it was at 4:30 in the morning, my phone was going ding, 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 ding. And Les said, "You have 4 orders."
Wow.
Well, that has turned into about 100 orders every day.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Right now. And we do our own manufacturing.
Yeah.
And we do our own shipping. And we just left a fulfillment center in Santa Fe Springs just on our way here. That's when we came here early. And because that part of it's become a little overwhelming. I'm saying that to say that I believe that, with this project with my daughter, sourcing all the components for her natural cosmetic line, it can be challenging, but there's resources available on packaging, on shipping, on labeling. All those things are available right here in Los Angeles. There's so many little nooks and crannies that you would know anything about that you can begin to do some part of manufacturing for your own self-sufficiency.
And if there's a facility that like a co-packing facility that does these packaging, then we can pool other companies together. You see what I'm saying? So instead of her creating an order for, say, 10,000, maybe we get 10,000 here, 10,000 there, 10,000. Then now, you see what I mean?
Well, we call that aggregation. Right. So her product line is called Mary Louise Cosmetics. My mother's name was Louise. My wife's mother's name was Mary. So her middle name is Mary Louise. Together. So we put it together. Her signature product is Mississippi Mud.
All right.
Because they're both grandmothers from Mississippi.
Right.
But with that model that we developed that came from USC, we talked about product and order aggregation. If we aggregated T-shirts from Los Angeles, from St. Louis, from Houston, and just say if we said, every 15th of the month, everybody's got to have their order in. We aggregate those orders, and then we have already aggregated the supplier and the manufacturer in Africa.
Right.
So that was my Sub-Saharan Africa manufacturing alliance in over 13 countries. So no longer could someone say, well, you don't have the capacity. We got 10,000 workers.
Exactly.
Give me the order and let us perform.
Right.
And so with that being said.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I am so thrilled of what I'm hearing right now, because some of the things you're talking about are some of the things that I needed access to bring to some of the small businesses that I provide services to. So this is great. And I definitely want to get your information so I can advance this to many of the other businesses.
Absolutely.
Plus your daughter, the project she's working on, that's phenomenal.
It's really blowing my wife and our mind. She's got more money than both of us combined, so we may have to be put on payroll. She doesn't know just yet the invoice is coming.
You're going to send her a little consulting fee.
Absolutely.
Invoice there.
So if Kellyanne Conway can plug Ivanka,
that's what I'm talking about.
So
see, the difference in that is you can plug her and don't get into trouble.
Exactly.
Because you're not in the government stream.
Absolutely.
But with her,
you can go
she go to jail.
Exactly.
Because she's violating the FAR principle.
So you can go to mymarylouise.com and check out what's happening with my daughter Akila. And then Ayana, she'll be launching her line next week of natural hair care products.
Right.
And so hers will be called naturaliyani.com.
Excellent.
And so, my goal is to use the knowledge that I have and to transfer that over to my children so they can be self-reliant as well.
So her name is
Ayana.
Ayana. How old is Ayana?
Ayana's 18.
18.
Is she 19 or 19? See, I call them my babies, and every time I call them my babies, they say, "Daddy, we're not babies." I said, "You always going." So I keep pushing back, on those years. And I remember I tell my wife sometime, I said, "What happened to the doll sets and the tea sets and stuff?"
See, as parents, we only remember that image. We don't remember that growing and developing.
And then, we've got heels on and all that right now. I'm like, what's going on?
Now, before we go, I wanted to ask you this question real quickly, because I know you're in the healthcare space and you do phenomenal things for individuals and small businesses. How do you see this current healthcare catastrophe that's going on right now? How do you see that affecting your mission, your plan, and your vision?
Yes. So about 10 years ago, our launch was called the Black Barbershop Health Outreach Program. We were going to barbershops and we screened men for diabetes and high blood pressure.
Wow.
We screened over 30,000 men for diabetes and high blood pressure in over 800 barbershops. We have close to 10,000 barbershops in our database.
Wow.
So I've used barbershops as the kind of new way for African American men to access healthcare information. So with that being said, that perhaps our communities need to look at what do we have access to right now so we can take better care of ourselves.
Yes.
I'm launching a campaign called The Real Weapons of Mass Destruction, How to Stay Healthy Even in the War Zone.
Yes, yes.
And with the real weapons of mass destruction, soda pop, fried chicken, candy,
lard,
all of those things are killing more people than any bomb. I know they're talking about
true.
ISIS and all those other people like that that we'll probably never see. Understanding that this government likes to operate with fear as the way to motivate people.
Yes.
So they've got us afraid of the wrong damn thing.
Yes,
right?
yes.
We need to be more afraid of the terrorists, quote unquote, that are right down the street here on Crenshaw. Right? The fried foods, the fried hamburgers.
Yes.
That's killing more people than any bomb that we thought they may be coming.
That's the real ISIS.
Every year.
Hey, think of all the dialysis clinics that are
all
popping
of that.
up.
Yeah.
All of that.
It's crazy.
400,000 will die from diabetes this year. Another 400,000 from obesity.
Wow.
Another
And that
500
crosses all cultural barriers, but
exactly.
it's very
and
affecting
speaking
us.
of what we have in common, Hispanics and African Americans are right there with healthcare disparities and diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
Yeah.
So how do we address that? We begin to talk about some real issues, and we cannot expect the government to keep us healthy.
Right.
That's number one.
Exactly.
And if you're scared of the doctor, stop doing everything possible to end up at the doctor.
Right.
Well said.
I totally agree with that.
So if you're afraid of the doctor, act like you're afraid of the doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
And eat right.
Yeah.
And exercise.
Yeah.
And the thing that's perhaps the most disturbing, you go to a funeral, you go to a wake, you go to the repast, and they get fried chicken. They get macaroni and cheese. And they said, well, what did Grandpa pass of that heart attack?
Diabetes.
I said, and they just going, I'm like, when is this going to end?
Yeah.
So I like to, when I post questions like that, let's talk about the resources that we already have, the existing infrastructure in our community.
I see.
So that's why I took barbershops. We've got churches. We've got beauty salons. We even have gas stations. Why not, when you go to the gas station, when the guy goes knock, 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 he's talking about eat your fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Exercise today.
Yeah.
Things like that. Even laundromats.
Yeah.
Check cashing places.
Yeah.
So with me being a social entrepreneur, I've had to get into the weeds.
Right.
Off of Wilshire Boulevard and Century Boulevard and really get down and say, let's look at this whole situation here. What do we have access to? We don't need any more clinics. We don't need any new this. We need to make what we have already work better.
Right. I love that. This is amazing. You know, a lot of us been thinking about the things that you're saying, but we never really frame it that way, because looking at it from that standpoint, now our eyes are open and we're thinking, hey, you know, we really should start paying attention. I mean, we're just coming from a funeral. Person just died of diabetes or a heart attack. Well, here we are eating fried chicken and all those bad things.
Again.
You see what I mean? So that's a good point. Now, I want to ask you, who are some of the people that you team up with in carrying out this campaign?
Well, we just had, and I won't let the cat out the bag, but some major healthcare providers that are wanting to partner with the Black Barbershop Health Outreach Program. We do have a new app that we're developing where we can, someone can go online, put their zip code in, and find out where the free, no-cost or low-cost healthcare resources are in the community nationally. So look out. Keep me posted. I'll keep you posted on some of our new developments with that.
Now, go ahead.
One of the things, too, Bill, we'd like to network with your network of barbershops
Yes.
and all of these this database of yours, because they should be listening, getting this information for their
Exactly.
business.
Absolutely.
As well as their
Barbers-
This
their health.
platform would be perfect. for that.
Barbers are some of the most notorious worst business people because, number one, they make their money being in the barbershop.
Yeah.
And so they don't really have a lot of time
Yeah.
to do other things
Yeah.
like this. So perhaps, maybe that could be a component on the app, how to get a business loan, how to do this, how to get your credit together, with barbers.
Yeah, I definitely want us to work with you on this. Another thing I would recommend in order to expand your market is to team up with the Latino community
Absolutely.
as well.
I'm
Because,
open. Yes.
like I say, they're 40% strong. And we're 12%
Well,
strong.
I
You
really
put that
have
together.
I really have no excuses because my youngest daughter
Yeah.
is biliterate.
Yeah.
She speaks and writes perfect Spanish.
That's what I'm
and
talking
she
about.
taught herself Spanish, and she recently came back from Peru.
Oh, really?
And she was one of the translators on that trip.
Oh, wow.
So, but I have yet to sit down with her and let her teach me some Spanish. So that is coming.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I'm telling you, once you do that partnership, this thing is just going to blow up.
I understand.
Because with our app that we have, Small Biz Pro, we can add a component like that to it as well.
Beautiful.
Get it out there to the small businesses. Because
Beautiful.
we deal with so many small businesses, it's cross-cultural. We
Excellent.
do African American, Latinos, Asians, Caucasian, you name it.
Well, I'm hoping that I'll get another invite from you or Calvin. I'll
Yeah.
be welcome, glad to come
It
and
will
share my
definitely
knowledge.
happen. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, I really appreciate that for sure.
Because, like I say, our anniversary is tomorrow. So what we're planning on doing an anniversary show, perhaps in September, or October.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make it big. We're gonna do like a big launch party,
Right.
and we're gonna invite most of the guests that we had on the show. We get some key people in the community, some contract providers,
Perfect,
insurance
perfect,
providers.
perfect,
You see what I mean?
perfect.
It's gonna be phenomenal.
Excellent.
Right.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you, and congratulations for you for doing all this great work. And the thing about it, this is like a secret, the best kept secret there. Because
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad. 'Cause I got to get the word out.
I know.
About the work that
Yes.
has been done, and one of the things I've done, and I've got the scars to prove it.
Yeah.
To really be committed to getting the work that needs to be done
Right.
real time. It requires a lot of work and a lot of commitment
Right.
and a lot of dedication.
Well, I want to make a pledge today on this show. My co-host is not here today, but I'm going to commit her too.
Okay.
Crystal Mitchell. She's in Washington right now, getting some techniques and strategies how we're going to make a lot more money.
That's
But
right.
here's what I want to do. I want to commit to partnering and teaming up with you on this
Wow.
effort so we can go out there and reach a lot more individuals in the communities, small businesses and individuals, cross-cultural.
Well, you just let me know.
Yes.
Calvin has all of my information.
Yes.
And this is music to my ears.
Yes.
And, my goal is to save lives.
Oh,
and,
yes.
From an economic standpoint as well. And as I mentioned, healthcare messages leave out a very important component. They'll say eat right and
Right.
exercise and
Yeah.
all those kind of things. And that means different things to
Yeah.
different people depending on what's in your bank account.
Oh yeah. And since this platform is to help businesses to become self-sufficient, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready, then the health is a big component of that.
Yes.
When you're healthy, health-wise and economic-wise, you can contribute much more to the
Healthy,
community.
wealthy, and wise.
Well, one of
That's
the
what
things
I'm
I've
talking
seen as a healthcare provider that really hurts me is that, and I came up with this model when I do my community lectures, that in a man or woman's life, I call it the sweet spot in a man or woman's life.
Yeah.
That's when you've lived long enough to gather so much knowledge. Now you've got to be healthy enough at the same time to execute what you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
So those two things have to come together
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yes.
Knowledge and health have to transact.
Yes.
So you have so many people that are young and dumb.
Yes.
They got all this energy, don't know nothing.
Yes.
Then you have older people, they have all this knowledge, but they're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Right.
They've had a stroke, or they're in a nursing home, and they may be disabled, and they have all of this knowledge, but they can't execute what they know. They can't transfer that knowledge because they're not healthy enough to transfer it. So when I talk about the why, most people don't talk about why you need to be healthy. They'll just say, you know what, you need to lose weight, you need to control your blood pressure, and you control your diabetes, blah, blah, blah. But it's much bigger than that. You've got to be healthy long enough to create wealth, to transfer that wealth. You've got to be healthy long enough to get knowledge and transfer that knowledge to your kids. When we die prematurely, we leave a lot of money on the table. We leave a lot of knowledge on the table.
Definitely.
So we have to be here. That's why you need to be running and jogging, so that you can be fit long enough to acquire knowledge every day, a new skill, a new piece, a new nugget every day. But you got to be healthy enough so you're not being preoccupied by going to the doctor.
I couldn't have said that any better, man. This is phenomenal.
And I don't mean, I'm sure I'm running out of time, but this is been an enormous opportunity for me.
Thank you.
And definitely like to applaud you once again on your anniversary.
Thank you.
And your vision is absolutely, is laudable.
Appreciate it.
And I'm glad just to be a part of it in my small way.
Thank you. And you're gonna definitely continuously be a big part of this, because I love your platform. I love what you're doing. And we need more of this out in the community. You see what I mean?
I appreciate that.
And if once we work together, we start pooling our resources together. I mean, all these barbershops you have, all these other entities you have, we bring it together. Calvin is going to reach out to them. We're going to share our resources, our knowledge. You're sharing yours. I'm telling you, together, that's the sweet spot that you're talking about.
The sweet spot.
You see what I'm talking about?
That sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot.
Absolutely. Where all comes together.
Yes.
And I talk about knowledge and health have to come together at the same time.
I think I'm going to borrow that phrase, your sweet spot phrase, and I'm going to use it in my workshops.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Now, tell our audience again what's your phone number, your contact information, how they can get a hold of you.
You can reach me at 310-412-0183. That's 310-412-0183. And you can also reach me at drreleford.com. That's drreleford.com. And you can click on the email or the phone number there as well.
Beautiful. This is so phenomenal. Again, I really, really want to thank Dr. Bill Releford, man. This is phenomenal.
It's been good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This has been
It's
good.
been my pleasure.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
So what we're going to do, we're just going to collect some information from you, and then we're definitely going to follow up with you. And, I don't know if you've ever met Crystal. Have you met her?
No, I haven't.
I want you definitely to meet her, and we'll invite you back on the show.
Consider it done.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So this has been the Business Zone, and we had a wonderful, wonderful guest here telling us about some great resources and how we can identify and execute the sweet spot, and we're definitely going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and take a break right now and bring up our next guest. This is the Business Zone.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Contribution margin is actually your profit. So it costs you how much to make it? Okay, and you're selling it for $60. So your profit margin is? That's excellent profit. Wow. Okay. So thank you very much. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, so put it on the table over there so we can take.
Yes, we're back on the Business Zone. This is Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic, along with my temporary co-host today,
Cal Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. And we've got two great guests here in the studio today. And these two guests, we're going to talk about some wonderful things. So what we want to do here, we just had a great guest on earlier talking about healthcare and how you combine that with entrepreneurship, which I really, really think is phenomenal. Today, we want to talk about how Latinos contribute to the marketplace and the business environment. And we've got two fine Latino entrepreneurs in our studio today. As a matter of fact, These Latinos are two who participated in my training program with the National Latina Business Women Association. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce our first guest. Our first guest is Theresa Martinez, and she is a phenomenal woman. And as she speaks, you will see how phenomenal she is. Theresa used to be the CEO for the Los Angeles Latino Chamber of Commerce for 3 years. And at that agency, Theresa has raised about $1.5 million in funding for the agency. And she's got some great social skills. Wherever you go, you see her out there moving and shaking and making things happen. She has grown that organization from 3,000 membership pool to 8,000. She currently launched her own business called Community Connections, and she's really doing some great things. Now, I could sit here and I could read her bio forever and ever and tell you all these wonderful things about her, but I'm going to leave some of that for her. I'm going to have Theresa tell you a little bit about her. So, without any further ado, Theresa, welcome to the Business Zone.
Thank you very much, Gilbert.
So, Theresa, I know you've been doing some great work for the Chamber, but recently you have been working for your own company, and I think you've just landed a contract?
Yes, the contract actually starts in September.
Oh, wow, that's phenomenal.
They pushed it a little bit, so I'm waiting on the contract. It is the Union Station project.
Yes.
And I'll be doing community outreach in the Arts District.
That is phenomenal. And that shouldn't be a problem for you at all, knowing that, people in the community already know you, they've seen you, they know what you can do. So I'm sure that was one of the selling point for this prime contractor to bring you in.
Yes, I actually met HDR. They're the prime contractor. They're the architect. I met them during the chamber.
Oh, wow.
When I was there, they came and gave a presentation, so I reached out to them. And
yes.
Sure enough, you always have to reach out and go back to those contacts.
That's what I'm talking about. So now, tell me a little bit about this, because this has been a big, challenging topic in the community that as a small business consultant, I've encountered this, and many of my peers and others have encountered this as well. Latino businesses in the marketplace. Of course, we know the population. There are 49 in the state of California. 49% of the population is inhabited by Latinos. But yet, when it comes to business opportunities, Latinos are not getting their fair shake in the community. What do you think are some of those reasons for that?
There are a lot of barriers, and I believe that they just don't know what the opportunities are out there. They start small as a mom and pop shop, and they're happy and content with what they're doing and the revenues they're bringing in, but they don't really know how to get to that next level.
Right.
They don't know that the city of Los Angeles procures billions of dollars worth of products.
Right.
And they don't know that Metro has Measure of Money coming up soon, that over the next 40 years, $40 billion worth of opportunities for them.
Wow.
So they're just unaware. That's what I believe.
Wow. And also one of the things that I encounter, Theresa, in the marketplace out there with small businesses, not only Latinos, but African American as well, many of these small businesses, they don't really claim the earnings that they make on their taxes. They tend to minimize it because they don't want it to appear that they have to pay too much taxes because they think that's good for them. Now, once they decide to go to a bank or a lender looking for opportunities, then they find out that the lender is not going to give them money because it doesn't seem as if they've been making enough money. So I'm thinking that's one of the other reasons why they're not as prominent in the marketplace in getting those opportunities. Now, based on the work that you've done, how do you think we can galvanize ourselves to help more Latinos obtain and leverage opportunities?
Well, the chambers are doing a little bit of the work to bring in those businesses and educate them and train them. But more of what you're doing, the BMA, that would be ideal. At the city level, at the county level. And a lot of times the city and the county and the Port of Long Beach and Metro and, all the others, they don't talk.
Right.
So if they would talk and come together and focus on a one-stop shop where everybody can benefit from going here and getting certified, and then it's used in each other area.
Yes.
Each other government area.
Yes.
It would make it a lot easier.
Definitely, definitely. Now, one of the things that we've done in the BMA, which is BMA means Business Management Academy, that we did for the National Latina Business Women Association, we have an app. We use a program called Small Biz Pro, but we also have an app to Small Biz Pro, which is phenomenal because what we do is all of the entrepreneurs that's been through that class, we teach them how to develop their capability statements. And then with that capability statement, what we do is we upload that to the app. So when small businesses go anywhere in the marketplace, they can in turn have someone tap into that app and see what their capability statements are instead of them calling their office and say, hey, can someone send my capability statement? I may get an opportunity here. It's right there at their fingertips. So that was phenomenal, and having you in the class was great because I was able to upload your capability statement to the app, and now it's there. So all of my contacts and all of the contract providers that I deal with, they now have access to that. So if they're looking for a community connector, an outreach person, or a business developer, they can just tap right into that app, and guess whose capability statement is going to show up? Yours.
Right. And I had a capability statement before I entered your class, but after I had a better capability statement. It really taught me to focus on certain topics. So I really would advise many of our businesses to participate in that type of a program.
Definitely.
You learn something every time.
Thank you so much for that. I love doing the forensics in these classes because I really get to break it down and show participants why they're doing what they're doing and why it's important for them. So this was great. This was great. Now, I know that you're working on some other stuff. I don't know if you're at liberty to tell us a little bit about a project you're working on right now or other stuff you want to tell us about.
Well, I'm actually reaching out to some of the nonprofits and the chambers of commerce.
Yes.
And helping them a little bit. I really can't mention which ones at this at this time, but they really need a lot of help. A lot of the chambers have not a big budget.
Yes.
You know, they're smaller, the Latino chambers, and I'm focusing on the Latino chambers.
Right.
And also so they can in turn reach out to their membership and get them bank ready, loan ready.
Yes.
To give them the opportunity, the procurement opportunities that are available out there, because they don't do enough of that. And it's just education, more of that.
And one of the things that we want to do here on the Business Zone is team up with individuals like yourself to reach those chambers so we can help them. And I know with many chambers, funding is a problem. We're willing to work with that to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, getting these small businesses ready and getting opportunity, that's what we're about. That's what we're about. Did you have a question, Calvin?
I was curious. Is there any particular type of business that you would want to focus on for being able to get bank ready? Is there a model that is ideal? Because you've got everything from your entertainment people, they're production, all types of businesses in the community. So
look at the website, the County of Los Angeles website. Ron Galperin did a really great job on all of the contracts that the county is what they're actually procuring. So you can look there and you can see everything that they purchase. They even purchase, I think, $200,000 worth of live rats for the zoo.
Wow.
And people just aren't
No
aware
one would
of that.
even think about that.
I know.
That? That's amazing.
Now, can any business, let's say, using your example, let's say some bright-minded person, they want to start a business, they see that online. They go out and they get their license and they do everything they need to do. Now, is it that simple?
No.
Oh.
It's difficult, believe me.
It's a process.
Coming from the chamber as the CEO of the chamber and helping a lot of the small businesses, it was difficult for me to get started, and it took me almost 6 months.
Can you give us an example of how that process worked? Because I think that might be beneficial for some of the listeners who are hearing this, get excited and want to access.
I would recommend they go to the county first to get their fictitious business name. Speak to an attorney to find out if they should be incorporated or what type of corporation they should be, and go to the city of Los Angeles and get your tax certification, your ID, So start there.
Okay.
Yes.
And then also look at the different certifications that are out there. And the first one I would recommend is, it's very easy, the Port of Long Beach.
Yeah.
Go to the Port of Long Beach website, and once you have everything in place, you can get an SBE certification, Small Business Enterprise, and then you can use that. You can put that on your website, you can put that on your business cards, and it gives you a little bit more credibility.
That's good information.
Yeah. And one of the things that will really help those individuals also get ready for those types of certifications is using our system, Small Biz Pro, to upload their documents. So they can access these documents from anywhere in the world in 10 seconds or less. They can access their business plan. They can access their insurance documents. If they have a safety document, W-9s, financials, whatever they need for that certification. So instead of them scrambling around trying to find a document and the certification process taking them much longer, they can just do this within 30 minutes.
Right. It's been ideal because I had folders and I would print copies of my certifications, and somebody would ask for one and then I'd have to go and look for it. So it makes it a lot easier.
Definitely. So I think Small Biz Pro will be a great, great tool for many of the small businesses you talk about. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about your experience working on the advisory committee at One West Bank. How does that work? What role do you play there? And how do you see your position there helping many of the small businesses gaining access to those banks?
Well, we're a small advisory board, but they really look to us for input on how things are going to work at their level. And right now, they're working on some great things. They're working on an application to finance people online and give them a 24-hour.
Oh, wow.
Within 24 hours, they'll have a notice if they qualify or not.
Right.
But they've lacked a little bit because they really were focusing on home loans. They weren't focusing on business loans.
Yes.
So now they're gonna come up with a program, and I'm really excited about it because more businesses will be able to get loans so they can grow.
Oh, wow. So now they're going to shift their focus a little bit to include small businesses. That is great. Because I remember I did speak with one of their representatives there, and that's what she told me. She said, we only do mortgages. We don't really do small business.
Now, these SBA loans or these micro loans? What type of loans are these?
They were SBA. They were just focusing on SBA the last few years, but now they have a partnership with another company that is helping them with the small business loan.
Oh, okay. That's great. That is so great. Well, with that being said, I want to switch my focus to let you all know who is this other gentleman sitting here in the studio with us. His name is Frank Banos. Frank Banos, right? Banos. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right.
I messed it up. I don't know what I was thinking.
Banos, just call me your friend. How's that?
My friend Frank. So Frank is phenomenal because Frank brings a different flavor to the business community and to the marketplace. Frank does hypnosis to businesses, and also Frank teaches dancing. And what he does, he does hypnosis. So someone who doesn't know how to dance, all of a sudden you feel like you're on. So you think you can dance, right? And Frank is just phenomenal with that. He also does a lot of different counseling and a lot of consultation with small businesses, help them to increase their revenues, help them to increase their position. So, Frank, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and have you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you work with small business. Frank, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. And by the way, how the salsa lessons you took?
It's coming along. All right.
If you get a chance, you can see Gilbert dance.
I'm following in his footsteps. He hypnotized me.
There you go. So definitely, my company is Finding Life's Compass.
Yes.
And for a long time, I worked for a city elected official in city council.
Yeah.
Working in there, we all had different personalities. We all had a different way of, viewing the world.
Yes.
The way you look at things, the way I look at things does not usually mesh, right? I had my challenges. The way I became a hypnotherapist is because I had a dislike for public speaking. Now, put me on a microphone and a stage, I'm good to go.
That's right.
But I just didn't like it at all. I had a struggle with it. So I found a hypnotherapist, but there was so much more than just hypnotizing.
Yeah.
It's the communication that you have with the world, yourself, and it comes down to a basis of introverts and extroverts.
Right.
Plain and simple. Where you have one person that talks very direct, more of an introvert, talk a lot in their head. We have an extrovert that has a tendency to talk a lot and never get to the point. So I took that model for hypnosis because the reason why we need to know that is because if you're more introvert, that's how you view the world.
Yeah.
If you're more extrovert, it's how you view the world. So if you're at work and your boss is an introvert and you keep on touching them, introverts don't like to be touched.
They don't like to be touched.
Personal space is huge.
Yes.
But you are an extrovert person that's very touchy. You want to touch them, and you feel a disconnection. And the reason why you're touching us is because you're trying to pull them in the conversation.
Yeah.
So I took that model to the understanding because that's not just business, that's also relationships.
Oh, yes.
Every person you speak to, everybody that's around you is a relationship.
Yeah.
So I took that model, and now what I do is I go to companies and talk about communication at a subconscious level. Not on a conscious. Conscious is just what we see here, what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But on a subconscious level.
Yeah.
The things that you're not even knowing you're doing. Like, for instance, I talk a lot with my hands.
Yeah.
I don't understand I do that. I just do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I go to companies, I talk about communicating better with your employees, communicating better with your colleagues. But if you have, let's say, a deep connection to another person, there's nothing you won't do for that person.
Right.
And it comes down to communication.
Yes.
If one person speaks French, another person speaks Russian, how are you going to communicate? Right? You got to learn their language.
Yes.
And when that comes down to is revenue. As soon as you have a better communication with another individual, work gets done quicker.
Yeah.
You have a better atmosphere at work. Productivity is a lot faster, right? A lot more productive. But also with your sales.
Yeah.
If you can really truly understand somebody at what they really need, it's even better. My introverts, you sell them on numbers.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to sell them a car, you tell them this is the year, make and model, how much it's going to save its money and gas and its value, all above.
Yeah.
But extroverts, you got to sell them on, you're going to look good in it. This is the flashy rims, maybe a little bit. But also, my extroverts are very family-oriented. So you talk to them on a family-oriented base. This car is safety. This car is connected. This will take your family to the next level.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Now, you didn't mention ambivert.
Ambivert.
How do we deal with the ambiverts?
We call them somnambulist. And ambiverts are, they're neither introvert or extrovert. Right now, there's many different categories in there. You could be a really, introvert individual, but a high extrovert defense. I'm an introvert, believe it or not. This is why I had a struggle with public speaking.
Right.
But I have a high extrovert defense.
Right.
So if I get nervous, I get talking and you won't shut up.
Yeah.
But you get me at home with my significant other, they're like, God, why don't you ever talk? Why don't you ever share your feelings?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? What just happened?
So it's situational.
But my ambiverts, they're neither introvert or extrovert. They're in the middle. And they have a tendency to be overwhelmed.
Yes.
Now, when everybody thinks of a hypnosis, you think about the stage stuff, right? Making you cluck like a chicken, whatever it is. Usually you want your ambiverts because they'll go with it a lot easier. They're a little more easily influenced. They don't want to rock the boat.
Right.
You know, they don't have that stability. So once you have that person, that's that whole stage stuff.
Yeah.
But normal, everyday, dated person usually are not in the middle.
Right.
There's my feelers. You know, my intuitive individuals. They could kind of sense if that's a good person or that's a bad person.
Yeah.
Problem with it is that you're leaving yourself open to a lot of other people's influences.
Right.
So with them, I do a lot of work in just getting them to be grounded.
Right.
Meaning, if I told you I don't like your tie, and ambivert were like, oh my God, I don't like my tie. Or somebody that's more grounded would be like, you know what? You know him. I love my tie. I bought it myself. I made it myself, whatever you want to call it.
$50 for this.
I paid $50 for this, right? Exactly. So it's more about grounding with it.
Right.
So everybody has a different basis, and then I work with that.
Right.
That's an individual base. Company base, yes.
Now you transfer this not only from the personal but to the business.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the way I was going to go into that, and with my companies, I just get them to understand who they are, because the more you know about yourself, the better you can relate to the world.
Yeah.
True.
And how can I say this? Sometimes our ask is too small and our butts are too big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't have enough that knowledge to ask more questions and to be more alert or be in present moment. But we put that big but and say, no, but I can't do this. But this is not me.
It's easier to do the but than to ask.
Than to ask.
Right. And it's the same thing in small business. Like many consumers, it's easier for them to say, nope, I don't need that. Contract providers, nope. The bank, nope, we won't lend you that money. And then small business tell themselves, oh, we're not going to make it. It's not going to work. But you got to just continuously be persistent.
Yes. Maybe it's a no today.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's a no tomorrow.
Exactly.
So you can't let it just shut down right there.
Yes.
So what I do is I go to companies, I teach everybody and kind of get to know yourself and how to enhance what your tools are.
Yeah.
For instance, this is one that I love doing just so people get an idea.
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Yes.
What's the name of your third grade teacher?
Miss Reed.
Okay. So if you notice, I don't know if you paid attention, but Gilbert
looked up.
Yeah. And his eyes went up.
Yeah.
He's very visual. If he was my boss and I say, hey, how does this sound to you? He'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Show me on a video.
The one moment I show him a video of something to hold, I have key communication with him.
Yeah.
And usually what you assume everybody else is. So if I'm audio and I say, how does that sound? That's normal to me.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with him.
Exactly.
So the more you know about yourself, the more you can enhance your environment.
Exactly.
And then, like I said, revenue goes up, sales go up, communication, love life, you name it. It all is one of those.
Interesting.
Now, the same question I asked Theresa, I'm going to go ahead and ask you the same question regarding the lack of opportunities or access to opportunities by the Latino entrepreneurs in the marketplace. How do you see that, knowing what you know within the hypnosis space? How do you see that affecting them?
Well, that's a big one, right?
Yeah.
How do you affect that? How do you change it? It's education. It's the chambers, getting the information out there. Yeah. But I see it as, and to be honest with you, is when we're young, what we're taught, how we're seeing our parents.
Yeah.
Growing up in a household, my parents' my mom's a teacher, my dad's a welder, and they got their jobs and they work hard, right? They wanted to go to education, why not? Thank God my dad was a welder, but he was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He had his own business, and I saw that as a kid, going out for invoices, going for bids, things like that. So that got me in the mindset.
Yeah.
So, I suggest is that, starting when we're young, educating about good credit. That's a big one, especially when you're in college.
Oh, yeah.
You want a free T-shirt?
Oh, yeah. And then you get a credit card in college and you go, whoa, I can buy all these things.
And not have to pay for it.
And not have to pay for it. And then you graduate. Yeah. And then you're going, whoa, now I got to pay.
Yeah.
So yes.
I've been seeing a lot of programs on financial literacy.
Yes.
A lot of programs that are doing these things, in the community outreach and whatnot. I like the gentleman that was here before about, blood pressure work in the barbershop.
Oh, yeah. That's phenomenal.
That stayed in my head. I go, why not about financial literacy or just growing your business?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if it was in your class or what. I remember something saying about minorities are becoming their own business owners because of opportunities.
Exactly.
We're the growing, especially the Latina community. Right? Latinas are just blowing up.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Right? So how can we combat that? Education, obviously.
Yes.
But it's how we do that education and where we start with it.
And help them to become receptive to the knowledge and education.
It's not scary.
Because many small businesses, they know they need to do certain things, but they don't want to do it.
Yes.
Either they think it's too much work or they're going, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
So they just don't do it.
They don't do it. So then they take all cash based.
Exactly. Yeah, all cash. Which, could be the demise of their business right there. Because when they take all cash, now they're not accounting for all that cash.
No.
So then when the bank is looking at them and said, okay, you said you made $150,000 last year. Show me on your financials. Well, it only said $60,000 on there because just trust me. It doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
Doesn't work that way. So one of the things I would like us to do here on the Business Zone to help more and more businesses, because we've been working with a lot of different communities, and the Latino communities is one of the communities that we're striving to expand on here on the Business Zone. So give us some pointers based on your interaction with many Latino entrepreneurs. What are some of the things that you see that's challenging them in the community, barriers they're facing, things that will stop them from growth?
Oh, start from for growth. It's just really accountability to yourself.
Okay.
Plain and simple. Being a Latino, and sometimes we're a little too humble. Sometimes we don't have that hunger. Sometimes we're very comfortable where we're at.
They're not paranoid enough.
Not paranoid enough,
gotta
right?
Be paranoid.
Yeah, you got to get the word out. It's really like I said, it's that education, but it's accountability to your own self. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, if you grew up in a household, like for instance myself, I was the first one to go to college.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it. Yeah. I didn't see anybody that was pushing me. Mm-hmm. I think I watched one too many Rudy movies. and it was like, oh, college looks amazing. Wait, he did it. I can do it. Right? Yes. It's what you surround yourself. Yes. And my best advice for any entrepreneur, Latino, whatever, the information's on YouTube. Yeah. Just motivational speeches. Yes. Look, if there's a field you like, especially if you don't have the mentorship around you. Mm-hmm. And that's the key, really. Right. I mean, taking your class, you mentored me. Thank you. And I was able to, now I've polished my...
your capability statement?
No, more than that was the
elevator pitch?
Wait, no. There's a lot of them, by the way. But the one that has already had it, and I needed to polish it, and I just kind of left it in the back burner, was to, when you're asking money for the bank, your... See, you forgot it too.
Yeah. There's so many things.
Yeah. Your loan, bank loan, small business loan. Yeah. So I've been polishing
or line of credit.
Or a line of credit. Yeah. Right? You said something to me that it's just stayed in my head, is that when you use a certain amount of money, you're replacing that certain amount of money.
Exactly.
Because you gotta return that money eventually.
You got to return it.
And I've done it the opposite. And we all do that.
We all did it.
Yeah. But it's that lack of mentorship. Yes. So my advice is we need more Latino, African American, minority mentors. Yes. Those of us that have been already through it, and how to give back. Right. I'm holding myself accountable for that, and I have a couple of mentees that I try to help. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's the masses is going to outweigh the one.
Now, I want to ask both of you and Theresa, this question. So either one of you can jump in first. How do you see what we're teaching in the BMA to help, which has helped you? How do you see us getting this message out there to other entrepreneurs so that they can learn what you learn and start using it in a positive way? Either of you.
Wait, say it again. You say how to use the information that you have now about the business?
No, how do you see what you've gathered from this? How do you see us going out there and helping some of these groups, entrepreneurs, to learn some more? Because many of them think they don't need it. They think, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine. Many of the agencies thinking, oh, we've got poor funding, we can't do it. What are some of the things that you could suggest that we can bridge that gap? Because we've got the resources over here. We just need to form the alliance with them so we reach more of them to take advantage of what we have here.
Want to get this one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Take advantage of a company like mine, where I'm doing community outreach and engagement. Yeah. And we're going, if you want to reach the East Los Angeles community, we can go door to door. Yeah. We can knock on doors, we can invite them, and we can have something in the community at different locations. Right. And here we come with 20, 25 people, businesses that are just in that local area, make it easy for them so they can hear and listen and understand what it is that they need to do to grow their business. Yeah. So take it to the grassroots level. That's what I say, and try to engage them that way.
Because it's kind of like what that's why I asked her, was they're in the chamber. That's what you guys do.
Yeah, that's what she does.
This is their outreach.
Yes, because right now what we're doing on the Business Zone, Crystal and I, we've put together a program. It's a 5-class series that we're putting out there. Well, it's going to be how to develop your capability statement, how to build your infrastructure, your business infrastructure, how to become certified and understanding certification, how to become contract ready, and cash flow management. So all of those 5 classes we're packaging, we're putting it together for small businesses. And then once we do that, we're also going to give them 10 hours of consulting time, 5 hours from me, 5 hours from her. Of course, the class is going to cost something, but it's not going to cost a lot. We're looking at a small fee, because since this is a pilot program, we're looking at a small fee of $299. $299 for that. You see what I mean? So if we do $299, and we're going to select about 10 businesses, because we want to be a select group that we work with over a period of time, perhaps for 6 months. And once we deliver those 5 classes, we deliver the 10 hours of consulting time, they should be ready once we're done with them. So we're going to help them to identify what documents they need, the business licenses, a fictitious business name, the insurance, all of those things. If you're a corporation, make sure you have your articles of incorporation, your bylaws, your shareholders agreement, all of that. If you're an LLC, we're going to do the article of organization, your statement of information, all of those things. So that's what we want to do to make these businesses ready. So how do you see us reaching out to different community members and making that really a reality?
Definitely sounds like
perhaps we can team, right?
They team up with the chambers, and then they trickle down from there.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could go, like I said, even the barbershops like that, hand out that flyer, make it face-to-face.
Oh, yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Because that's what our plan is. Because they have all these different agencies out there right now, and, they get money to teach classes and all of that, and it's just a class. It's just, people come sit down for 3 hours and then they leave and go, what did I get out of this? We want this to be different. We want when you walk out of here, just like you guys walked out of the BMA, you walked out of there with something, you felt you got something out of it. That's what we want to do and more for these businesses.
Right. What comes to mind, the Hollenbeck Police Station in East Los Angeles, they do a lot of community outreach. They have a database of businesses, and they work with them, and they're providing a lot of input and outreach to the community and education to them. And almost every weekend they have something going on. So they have that database. I would recommend partnering with them. Partnering with USC, because they also have the database in the surrounding area of all the businesses that they're working with, that they're trying within that radius, they're trying to give them contracts, but there are some that don't have contracts.
Right.
So just strategically look at the different cities, maybe start, small in Highland Park or somewhere, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work and effort.
It does.
So you need people to help you do that.
Yeah.
But, that's not... It's not always necessarily the chambers of commerce or the business organizations. It can be more of a grassroots level that we're not thinking about those other ways we can reach them.
Okay.
One of the ones that for working past in politics, your local city council people. If you get one of them to do like an event for you, or to educate young, like they do a lot of scholarship funds. If you could do a part of the workshop being to do that scholarship, you have to go through this financial group or this, education. Your local YMCAs, they have a phenomenal connection to the Latino families. They do education on how you eat, and if you could do a financial education and how to be okay to start your own business.
Right. I think that would be great because, again, I've seen small businesses, they start and then they sputter and then that's it. I really want to take them to the next level. And, I've seen a lot of consultants out there, but I really don't see any that's really so committed that they even volunteer their time like I do, is what I'm saying, because we really, really want to get those businesses ready. There's a lot of funds out there, whether it's through MBDA which is Minority Business Development Agency, which is a department of the Department of Commerce, which the president now is talking about cutting their funding, But those organizations are organizations that provide funding for small entrepreneurs so that they can get started, get their footing up, so they can access opportunities. So that's really what we'd like to do. Now, I know you have an audience that you address, so you want to tell us what type of audience, your target demographic that you go after for the type of services you deliver?
Definitely. So my services, I specialize in office and work communication, relationships, and motivational on an individual base and office base. So the communication is I go to companies, I help them out get better in sales, better in their communication, better overall just an understanding of who they are as an individual and as a group. Relationship-wise, I help individuals. You ever been dating somebody and you leave that person, but you keep on dating the same person in a different body? With hypnosis, actually, we could break that pattern a lot faster.
That's amazing.
And everybody.
Can you hypnotize Calvin?
I already did. What are you talking about? Calvin got like, what the hell just happened? Anyways, but. And so the communications office, relationship, and the motivational is I just give speeches in different areas for motivational for companies or whatever it may be.
So how do they hear about you?
You can contact me through my website. It's Finding Life's Compass. Phone number is 818-472-0976. Email is frankw.banos@ findinglife's-compass.com. And you can reach me through there, and I also have a YouTube channel for Finding Life's Compass. And
is there a criteria for a company or to be able to participate, or is there like a sweet spot, to borrow Gilbert's term,
I like that
you're targeting?
As long as they can pay, it's all good. That's good.
They have the ability to pay.
Yes, on time, right? No, the sweet spot comes down to if they have individuals that are just not getting along in the office. If they have individuals, I know I was one of those people that just didn't make it easy for others, but yet there was other people that just adored me, and others that hated me.
Yeah.
It's a balance between the two and figuring that out.
Right.
And also, if a company is not doing well in sales, they want to boost their sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to talk to you after the show.
We'll talk, definitely. And then I've noticed that depending on if I do an hour, a whole day, or when I do retreats, the company everybody has a different outlook. And now they're understanding that, this is why so-and-so keeps on touching me.
Yeah.
All right, I got to be and look at him and be present with him when he's talking to me.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I see there's some synergy going on because I have a tool called KYP.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing a workshop on
Just
that.
saying.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Come on.
So I see where we can do that because mine has 4 parts, and you mentioned introvert, extrovert, and and you also mentioned
ambivert.
Ambivert as well.
In the business world right now, what's really big is something called NLP. Neuro-linguistic programming.
Oh.
And it's all about just reading body language. It's about center energy that you take your business to the next level. And NLP, people could look it up and look. I love YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a reader, but when I have to, I will. But I'll YouTube it and watch it. I'm super visual, So yeah.
Yes. We're definitely going to do something because I'm
going to hold you to that. Let's do it.
Oh, definitely.
All right. There it is. The handshake.
Because I see that happening, and an hour is not going to do it. I'm thinking maybe a 3-hour workshop. And then, you
can always have him back.
Yes.
As well, future guest.
Well, with the Latina Business Association, I just did a course with them and how to deal with men in the workforce. And how to have, because women in the workforce have to have a masculine voice.
Yes.
It's a must, or else they will not be respected. They won't be understood.
Right.
So it's how to still hold your femininity, but also how to get heard in the workforce, how to be respected at the workforce.
Right. Exactly. So we'll do some talking there.
Awesome.
Now, Theresa, what type of demographic do you go after for your line of business? Who would be your ideal client or customer?
Government agencies.
Government
That's what
agencies,
I'm
primarily.
Primarily, yes.
Because they can pay. They can afford to pay.
But it does take time to get paid. So,
it does.
So, in the interim, I am working with the nonprofits and the smaller chambers of commerce.
Okay. And one of the things that we would like to do, I'm sure you're probably already there, but we'd like to set you up with certain lenders so they can provide lines of credit, get that ready, so you have access to the fund. As a matter of fact, my bank is calling me right now every day. They call me, when are you going to update your line of credit? I'm thinking about it. I'm saying, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you.
Right.
So they have about $50,000 they want to give me. So I think I'm going to take it because they usually come to you when you don't need it.
Yeah.
And because I don't need it now, they keep knocking on my door.
Right. When you need it, they'll say no.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. So I think I'll take them up on that, but we want to set you up like that.
Well, I'm also, I really didn't plan on doing this, but some of the businesses need help.
Yes.
And they're willing to pay me to help them.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
So I can bring on a few clients that are looking. There's a tire company, in fact, that doesn't have any government contracts.
Oh, okay.
But they're Latino owned and they're ready to get to that next level. So I'm helping them.
That's
with that.
good.
And introducing them to the supplier diversity people, researching who buys tires.
Yes.
And we know, when you think of it, you really, who buys tires? But Edison, everybody that's driving.
They do. They, especially the transportation agencies, the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Even Spectrum, that cable station.
Oh, yeah, Frontier Communications.
Yeah, they do. So that would be a good one for you.
Yes.
So what you could do is you can get those guys, you get them ready. And since they need to know the organizational side of infrastructure,
I've been doing that.
Send them this way.
I've been doing that.
Send them this way so we can get them ready.
Well, what I need to do is find out more information on what you're providing because I've been referring them to NLBWA, but that's only a yearly course, right?
Yes. Yeah, they can go there as well. But also, since I do this every day, we want to get them because they may not want to wait until the course is coming up again. Yeah, they may want to get ready now so they can go after some contracts. And one of the key things that we're gonna promote is the Small Biz Pro because they really need that. They really need. I've done so many workshops, and I've said, "Hey, I want you guys to give me 3 documents right now. I give you 30 seconds," and they couldn't come up with it. I said, okay, what if I give you a contract right now, but you got to give me those 3 documents first? Can't come up with it. And we got a small business, we got to be nimble, we got to be ready. So that's what I'm trying to promote. And if there's any small business, if there's any of you out there who can do that, produce a document in 30 seconds, I give you 30 seconds, but usually I give you about 10, 15 seconds. But if you can produce some documents on the spot, contract providers will love you. They will love you because that's what they're looking for. Oh, yeah. That is what they're looking for, and that's what we're trying to do, get these guys ready. Calvin, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm learning a lot today.
You're learning a lot. He's still
I got to go snap him out of it.
Excellent information.
Definitely.
I didn't think he had the power, but no, I see. He's got it. It's working.
What can I say?
It's
burning
working.
the candle at all ends.
There you go. There you go.
So tell us a little bit more about your company, Theresa. I mean, I know you work with primarily government, you work with nonprofits, and you work with an individual client here and there if they need your services. How does people get a hold of you? How do they contact you?
Well, right now I'm pushing a social media piece, so I'll be sending that out shortly. I just received my LLC, so I need to make a change on my business cards and on my website. So my website's down because the new website's coming up with the LLC, and I'm doing the bank. You can't use the same bank account. You have to actually close that one and open up a new bank account. So that's what I'm currently doing right now.
So you're learning a whole lot about that process, huh?
As well.
That's good. That is good. Now, how long did it take you to get the LLC? A couple months. Oh, a couple of months.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really quick.
Oh, yeah.
I went through the USC business school.
Oh, they did it for you.
And they did it for me.
Did they charge a lot?
They don't charge.
They don't charge at all?
Wow.
No.
Really?
Right. But you can't be wealthy and go in and try to. You have to be from the community, and you have to show a need that you're starting up, and you're really not a wealthy client. So they want to help people.
That's good to know. That's
what department can we share that information?
It's the USC Law School. It's under the USC Law School. Yes, they have a business program under there.
Excellent.
So you just pay the filing fee.
Yes. Now, this brings up a great point right here. Because if they're doing that there at USC, I'm sure they also do patents, right? And trademarks?
I don't know.
I'm sure they do.
I believe you're right.
They should.
Yes.
So I would like to establish a relationship with there so I can make that available because a lot of entrepreneurs out there, they're creating things like I am. They don't know how to do their patents. They don't know where to go. And then you've got, some of these attorneys just sitting out there like sharks, just waiting to gobble them up.
Right.
You see what I mean?
So I'll make the connection.
Let's do that.
I know the professor that's in charge. He came and spoke at the chamber.
Yes.
And he's very open. In fact, that's another part of my business.
Yes.
Well, that's another area that I'm looking to do. I have a product that I need a patent for.
See? So the more you get involved in that, the better you're going to get the understanding of that. And, it could cost you less, not as much as these sharks would.
Right.
Yes. So we're definitely going to get connected on that. And I also want to stay connected with you on the advisory committee for One West Bank. Now that they're going in a different direction towards entrepreneurs, because that's really what I want to put out there.
Okay.
Yes, that's definitely. So, Frank, how about you? How do they get a hold of you? I know you gave your phone number before. You want to give it again and website?
Phone number 818-472-0976. Website is Finding Life's Compass. Stay tuned on that website. I'm going to be Changing it up, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Going to be adding, giving away some free audios that people could download.
Good.
It's going to be from helping with relationship problems to stop smoking, losing weight, all those things that I don't know if you know, but a lot of hypnotherapists are known for.
Yeah.
And then if you want to email me, it's frankw.banos@findinglifescompass.com. And then I have a YouTube channel, and if you add me on Facebook, I'll add you to my business page also.
Excellent.
No, are you a registered hypnotherapist?
I'm a certified hypnotherapist.
Certified.
So what it is, it's a year program that I went under. We learn things like handwriting analysis. So actually companies will have somebody write out a big, let's say like a one-pager, and I'll read that one-pager to see if that person will steal from you. See if that person will have any self-confidence issues. Yeah.
Oh, let me see. I got something written right here.
Write down Monday, Tuesday, and I'll tell you right now.
Do you think I'm a thief? Oh, I'm not there. I'm not on there.
Yeah, is this you?
No, that's not me.
All right.
I'm going to write something on here, and I want you to tell me if you think
Write down, here, just do me a favor. Write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in cursive.
Okay. Cursive?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really write cursive, but I'll try.
All right.
They said Monday, Tuesday.
Aha.
You saw that. You saw that look, huh?
Wednesday.
That's all.
Okay.
Just Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
So tell me about me now.
All right. Notice the ending Y.
Yeah.
Ending Ys are very important.
Yeah.
This is your Y, right? I don't know if the video
It's
can see it,
incomplete.
right? I'm not saying necessarily incomplete.
Okay.
All right. This is why you're a businessman.
Yeah.
You're straight to the point.
Yeah.
You're more of an introvert, even though you come off a little bit more of an extrovert.
Oh, really?
I would say your extrovert is just a protection that you do.
Oh, I see.
This straight to the point means get to the point, people. Done. You said earlier, let me see if I can do cursive. That means you print.
Yeah.
Engineers print. People that need to get precise, direct. Print.
Wow, see that?
This one over here is an extrovert kind of Y.
Oh.
It has flair to it. It moves. My extroverts, they dress that, they dress a certain way.
My notes now.
Right? So I do handwriting analysis and I read the individual on that basis.
Wow.
Yeah. So I charge like a regular session.
Yeah.
And then businesses, they ask me to read it through and see if there's certain ways you do little U's, certain ways you cross your T's, and just a little information for people. If you cross your T's high, it helps with confidence. So you are what you write.
Yeah.
Now, is this all under NLP, or is this...
This is, let's say NLP, hypnosis. This is all just the basis of your subconscious and how it works. You ever had your mom say, God, you're just like your father?
Yeah.
Well, it's because you pick up your dad's personality on a subconscious level because you want more attention from mom. But that's
Felicia, we're going to have you write something.
All right. So we also do dream analysis.
Yes.
If you're having consistent nightmares or let's say certain dream keeps on popping up. Yes. And it's individual based.
So let me tell you about my dream that keeps coming up.
Please.
So every night, not every night, but let's say 7 days of the week, like 2 of the 7, I keep dreaming about lions. Like I'm going to go around a corner and I'll see some lions and they're going to attack me. Like they're just lying in wait for me. Gosh. Every night.
It must be delicious, man. What's going on?
I don't know. Like two nights out of the week. And it's scary.
May I ask you, is the dream during the night, just before you wake up? When is it happening?
Wow. I only get like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. So it's within that 2 or 3 hours.
What are you thinking about before going to bed?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Probably thinking about my bills or thinking about my clients that I got to finish their projects.
Maybe you're eating too late.
Maybe you're eating too late.
Busy, eat late.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not enough sleep.
I know.
Sleep? Yeah.
Well, I mean, before he goes to sleep, maybe he eats dinner late. Could that be?
Are you eating meat? No.
Actually, no. Chicken will be chicken, fish, shrimp, that type of thing.
Well, whatever you think about just before going to bed has a tendency to go into your dreams.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I'd say, not half an hour, but just before you wake up in the morning, those dreams are very important. All the other dreams are just processing. You're processing your day. Like, for instance, we're here in the studio. Do I really need to know what color this microphone is?
Yeah.
No. My brain would just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It would just hold on to the most important parts and try to vent out problems that I have in my life. I like to throw myself out there, but when I worked in politics, I was transitioning at one moment from politics to hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
How do you go from politics to hypnotherapist, right?
Amazing.
All right. So I had a dream where a buddy of mine just a good friend of mine, is Democrat, good guy, he's GoPro. I see politician right there.
Yeah.
In the dream, he died.
Ooh.
Oof, scared me, right?
Yeah.
But then fast forward in the dream, it wasn't that he died, it was that I died. And when you die in a dream, you're actually letting something go. And it was just
Really?
before I woke up. And I was letting go of being a politician and becoming a hypnotherapist.
Wow. I have a question. What if someone doesn't seem to remember dreams or have dreams?
That's actually means that your brain is healthy. It says we're going to vent this out, and you don't have to. In the days that you do dream, write them down. It's something significant about you and your life. Right. I would say something if it's bothering you. The line might be some kind of businesses, your clients, or your bills. Because the one thing you said big was bills. Yeah, and you had a trigger right there. Yeah, and it's all normal. That's what we do. Everybody. It could be the line is a bill that's coming after you.
I don't know, man. It's.
Yeah. But
all
also,
the time, and I keep trying to get away from it, but it keeps popping up.
So there's books out there on dreams, right?
Traffic tickets you didn't pay.
Right?
No, I generally, if I do get them, I pay them right away.
There's books on dreams, which I love, but it's usually the basis of what you see and think about that specific item. So for you, it's lions. What do lions represent to you?
Strength, power, dominance.
Okay. So it's coming after you, you said. To eat you or to meet you?
But here's the deal. It's like if I go out through this door and I go out in the open out there, I don't know what's out there. But as soon as I step out, then I'll see a lion. And then there'll be another one lurking around. Like they're getting ready. You see what I mean? So that's the thing.
Remember, so the individual was here before the doctor. Yeah. Talking about blood sugar, right?
Yeah.
Do you have diabetes or hypoglycemia that runs in the family?
No.
No? Not at all? Pick up your left hand, go like that. Your fingers together. I would say you do. See how this finger is taller than this one?
Yeah.
That's genetically, in African Americans and Latinos, we have a big genetic link towards sugar. Really? Mine is a little off, and I know diabetes or hypoglycemia runs in the family.
So if this one is short, it means...
If these two are off. See, the middle one is fine.
That
but
means
the
it runs in the family?
If they're even, there's no hook towards blood sugar loss.
Really?
If you do have them off, you have a hook towards blood sugar.
Really?
So I'm thinking since you're only sleeping 3 to 4 hours, that you're having low blood sugar drop while you're sleeping and your body is giving you crazy dreams and making you get up. Go eat something. Okay? Blood sugar is very important in all our personalities. Wow. So it has an effect, and then it gives us fears and phobias. The list goes on and on and on. But blood sugar is a big factor.
Wow. Yes. So in the community, obviously a lot of these soft drinks, and they have a lot of high corn syrup, fructose corn syrup.
Right. The real drugs.
And that affects...
Oh, yeah.
How...
Oh, yeah. So what happens is this. If you're constantly in a frightful state of mind, you're going to look for some kind of you're what we call fight or flight constant. All right. For instance, I have a lot of clients that have fears of flying. Yeah. And they'll say, that one day I went to go on a plane, I felt great. Right there, that's a red alert to me. Then I ask, so how many beers did you have just before going on that plane? Right? Because they were frightful. They say they were fear of flying, but yet they felt great going on the plane. So it just kind of lets me know. But what is alcohol? It's sugar. Yeah. So once they get on that plane, they're sitting strapped in that plane. Yeah. And you're on a plane for more than, let's say, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. That sugar drops, especially individuals that have a hook to sugar. You go through sugar fast. Yeah. Once it drops, your brain goes, I'm sobering up. Oh, I'm on a plane. Wait a minute. Your brain doesn't know between a lion and turbulence. All it knows is frightful. So when that sugar drops, you don't get another source of protein inside of you. Question to you, what's another source of energy in your system that's natural? Do you know?
Besides the sugar?
Besides the sugar. Besides the fat.
Adrenaline.
Exactly. Yeah. So now adrenaline gets induced to your body because you're in fight or flight mode. Yeah. And what it does, it gives you a fast panic. You get a cold sweat. Yeah. And now you attribute, every time you go on a plane, you get panic attacks. Yeah. And now that fear, which is natural, becomes a phobia. And now you don't want to go around any planes. All because you didn't eat well before on a plane. Because before you got on that plane, you were frightful. And your body says, there's no way I could eat right now because I have to fight or run. Yeah. So it's a whole cycle with sugar that's very, very important that you eat every 2 to 3 hours.
Every 2 to 3.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I was hearing something on the radio the other day about fasting, how beneficial that is to health.
Yeah.
Can you tie
Don't do
that
it all
in?
the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that there's a lot of benefits, all right? But if you do it too many times, then it damages your body. Yeah. There's and forgive me, it's been a while since I read the fasting, but there is like a certain time you could do it, certain amount of times in a year. There's benefits to it. No, definitely.
I think mine is damaging me because I fast every day.
You're probably skipping meals.
I don't eat until like 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
That's no good.
No good. Yeah. So you're, especially because you have that sugar, and you're going to go from hypoglycemia, if you're not there yet, then into diabetes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it just kind of gets progressed from there. Yeah, it's really interesting and fascinating once you kind of learn all this stuff.
Wow.
I had a really, really close friend that I didn't know she was going through this, and I just had learned this. And unfortunately, she got diabetes. The day that I learned this in school, she was admitted into an ICU. And she got pneumonia because the diabetes, her sugars were off, her blood wasn't working well. Right. Unfortunately, she did not make it.
Really?
Yeah. So for me, this is
just
a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Wow.
Because the blood circulation, your sugars are very important. Wow. So whenever I get a chance to talk about this, you see, I like to talk about it because. It's things that, education's amazing. Yeah, but if you don't know it, you don't know it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can Google or watch YouTube videos and learn a little bit more about this, the basis of hypnosis, as well as the effects of blood sugar. Would you say that would be good too?
And
then call you too, of
definitely.
course.
What I do with my hypnosis is that because people come to me for fears and phobias, I'm now releasing that hook that you had towards that fear and phobia. Meaning, I'm getting you to, you're always going to remember it, okay? What you see on stage does happen, you will forget it. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to so you remember it, respect it for what it is. Because everybody has to go through a range of emotions, from ego to confidence to,
all of
whatever.
Yeah.
So I just help you understand it, respect it, and then move on from it.
Yes.
Instead of doing a whole year of just talking about it, how to move on with it within the first 2-3 sessions.
So when are you going to write your next book?
It's coming up. Hopefully, I'll be done towards a little before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on life hacks, things that I just told you right now, knowing that your blood sugar, your finger, stuff like that.
I think those are great information.
Yeah. It's going to hopefully be, I'm projecting out there at least 7 to 10 volumes on relationships, on fears and phobias, all the above.
Right. This is amazing.
Thank you.
See, when you tune into the Business Zone, you never know what you're going to get. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal. And I would definitely like to invite both of you back.
Thank you. Please do.
Yes, thank you so much.
So you guys can really check it out and share some information with us. And I've learned quite a bit about myself today. Felicia, I wish you were out here to learn some things too with us. But it's now 2 minutes to check out time, and you're on the Business Zone with Gilbert Buchanan and Calvin Johnson, and our two special guests in the studio, Frank Banos and Theresa Martinez. And these are wonderful guests, and I just want to say that we miss our co-host, Crystal, but I know she's in Washington taking care of business. She'll be back next week, and when we invite you guys back, she will be here, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Definitely.
So our topic today was talking about the resources available in the community for Latino-owned businesses that they're not taking advantage of, and how we can get them to leverage those opportunities, build it, and look at themselves, so self-sufficiency, business readiness, contract readiness. And it's been a great show. Thank you, Calvin, for sitting in for Crystal.
Yes.
And thank you to both of my guests.
It's been a pleasure
for being here. Thank you so much. And this has been the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and we're tuning out.
Thank you, everybody.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.